Hello everybody, in this video I will discuss the 2024 Gauteng Prelims, Paper 1, Question 4. Now this question is a combination of the grade 11 and 12 functions and grade 12 inverse. I suggest you pause the video, quickly attempt the question yourself and then come back to the explanation. As you can see, this question counts 9 marks, so my suggestion is it shouldn't take you longer than 9 minutes. The graph of f of x equals ax squared and is sketched for x smaller and equal to 0. This is on this side of the negative x-axis. The point minus 6 minus 8 lies on the graph of f. Number 4.1, calculate the value of a. So what we need is we're going to calculate that value. So there's the equation. Y in f of x's place, we can substitute y and then ax squared. The only point we have other than the point 0, 0 is the point negative 6, negative 8, which consists of an x and a y. So in y's place, we substitute negative 8, in x's place negative 6. Negative 6 squared becomes positive 36. We will divide away the 36 and simplify, and in the end, a's value is negative 2 over 9. And I must admit, I was happy that there was a negative. Since my graph is a crying graph, you know that a's value must be negative. Where's the marks? The marks are substitution and a's value. And in the rest of the sum, we will use that value now. 4.2, determine the equation of, and this means the inverse in the form y is equal to. Now, first of all, there's our equation. We calculated a's value. Now, what is the inverse? Inverse is a reflection about the line y is equal to x. And when we have a reflection about the line is equal to x, y is equal to x, then there's this little formula where we can say that the xy coordinate swaps and y and x, y becomes x and x becomes y. So now back into our equation, there where you saw a y, you will substitute with an x, and there where you saw an x, you will substitute with a y. This is in fact the answer, but the question says they want it in the form y is equal to. So all we need to do now is we need to make y the subject of the formula. So first of all, we will multiply by minus 9 over 2 this side, and we will multiply by minus 9 over 2 that side, and we end with negative 9 over 2x is equal to y squared, but we don't want y squared, we want y. Therefore, we will take the square root and we end with that. This question counts 2 marks. Where's the marks for the inverse, the reflection, where you swap the 2 coordinates, and your final answer. (4.3) Write down the range of the inverse. Now we find that answer here. This was given as x is smaller or equal to 0. This in fact is the domain of our function. And when we deal with inverse, not only does the x and y coordinates swap, it's also a fact that the domain becomes the range and the range becomes the domain. So therefore, it used to be x is smaller equals 0. That was the domain, and now the range for this graph is y is smaller equal to 0. 4.4. Sketch the graph of the inverse. Indicate the coordinates of any point on the graph different to the point 0, 0. Now, what we have? We only have this point negative 6, negative 8. So therefore, okay, let me write it here, minus 6 and negative 8. So the inverses coordinate will be negative 8 and negative 6. So let's go to the graph. We will find negative 8. Look, this is negative 6. So negative 8 will be round about there. And then this one is negative 8. So negative 6 will be round about there. So our new point is this one, the point negative 8, negative 6. Let me write it for you. Negative 8, negative 6. And our little graph will look like this. It will, it will do something like that. And then, in fact, it goes on like that. But that part is not necessary. So I'm sorry for that one. But there's your graph. And then, where's the marks? The marks will be for the shape of your little graph and for this point. (4.5) The graph of f is reflected about the line y is equal to x and then reflected about the x-axis. Determine the equation of the new function in the form y is equal to whatever. Now, this question, there's two parts to it. The first one is the graph is reflected about the line y is equal to x and then reflected about the x-axis. So we will take this one step at a time. Our equation was y is equal to negative 2 over 9 x squared. Now let's deal with this part first, where it's reflected about the line y is equal to x. And you with me there that the rule for that reflection, that's in inverse, is xy becomes yx. In other words, we swap the x and the y coordinate. So there you can see it. Where you saw a y, there's an x now. Where you saw a y, there's an x now. Right, that was the first part. The second part is now it's reflected about the x-axis. Now go to the sketch quickly. A reflection about the x-axis. If this is the point 2, 3, and you reflect it about, remember this is the x-axis, and you reflect it about the x-axis, you end with this point 2, negative 3. The 2 stays the same, the x stays the same, but it's the y that becomes negative. So therefore, the rule for a reflection about the x-axis is xy becomes x minus y. Now, have a look at what happened here. We will take this equation and we will write it there, but this minus is still this minus. And then this minus is in fact that minus, where you will deal with the reflection about the x-axis. And furthermore, since this is squared, that square will change this minus into a positive. And then you will say a minus times a plus is a minus. So we end with x is negative 2 over 9 y squared, but we're not there yet because they want it in the form y is equal to. So now we have to multiply by minus 9 over 2 this side, multiply by minus 9 over 2 this side. Here they will all cancel and a minus times a minus is a plus. And there's still this y squared, so we need to take the square root. And your final answer. Root minus 9 over 2x is equal to y. All that work for 2 marks. So where's the marks? The marks were there, inverse, and then this little part there where you saw, there's a minus. So you don't even get a mark for that. The mark lives there. Thank you for watching my video. On the left-hand side, I added question 5 of this paper for you, and then you will also see on the right-hand side, you will find the playlist on grade 12 inverse, if you still need to spend a little bit of time there. Thank you for watching my video.